need to make 3 costume pieces to be Hipster Ariel in a play, and I'm using these 3 t-shirts to do it. The green shirt will become my mermaid-esque wraparound skirt. Give me a few hours, I could so make that. Happy snipping! The last part of my costume is inspired by Bohemian Rhapsody. This is the tutorial that I'm using. I've made this skirt before with a different t-shirt, obviously, and I love the way that it fits, and I thought this would be really great for my Little Mermaid-esque costume because it's kind of flowy. I'm going to wear it with fishnets, and I've chosen this green to go with the mermaid tail, and it just so happens to be perfect that I have this Clover, New York shirt because my character in the play is from New York. So with this tutorial there's actually a bit more cutting going on, but it's very simple. It's probably the easiest of the 3 pieces that I'm making. It's not going to take as long. We're going to cut off the sleeves, cut across the top layer, and then cut across right below the neckline on the back layer. So they're actually going to be, one part is going to be longer than the other. Cut it in half to make a long strip like that, and then it just wraps around and secure with a pin. So here we go. You lay out your shirt. I'm using a men's large shirt. I don't remember where I got this shirt, actually. I just remembered, like, oh, I have this great green shirt, and it happens to say New York on it, and that's where my character's from, so it's perfect. We're going to cut off the sleeves. I like to do it 1 layer at a time just to make sure that I'm not cutting any more than I want to, because I want to keep all the fabric. I just want to go on the inside of the seam. And as always, it's okay that these edges are rough. I mean, you can make them pretty if you want, but I don't mind the rough look. I don't mind that these things look like I made them myself because that's part of what I'm going for. Save the sleeves for another project. Now remember I said with the top layer we're going to cut a little bit further down. I'm just going to cut right below the neckline. Straight line. You can measure this. You can trace out a straight line with a ruler or some kind of straight edge if you want. Whatever makes you comfortable. And then we're going to flip this up and cut again on the back layer just below the neckline. Trying to go in a straight line across. T-shirts are made out of curved pieces of fabric, of course, because it curves around our body, and we are not made of all straight lines and right angles. So sometimes cutting a straight line means that you're going not directly parallel with seams and things like that. Save this, I don't know. You can use some of these little pieces to embellish things if you want, or if you want to make anything with a patch. So I always keep all these little pieces. Sometimes you can even just use the collar if you want a collar piece for anything. You never know when it'll come in handy. If anything else, you can use it to stuff something like a plushie or a pillow. Now I am consulting the book because I want to make sure that when I put the skirt on, the design is going to be visible. So I want to figure out which side I should cut it on. The armhole that you don't cut through is going to be at the back. So if you want the design to be by your left leg, you should cut the left side as you're looking at it, because this is the back. If you want the design to be on the front, then you cut the other side. I think I want it on my left leg, which means that I want this to be the back. So I'm going to cut the left side. And hey, if I'm wrong about this, I will tell you, and then you'll know, and that doesn't really matter for me. There we go. Now you have this big piece. You can cut off the bottom hem if you want. I think I'm actually just going to leave it for now. Okay, so this is the way I put on this skirt. You can probably figure out another way to do it. This is how I think it's supposed to be, with the remaining armhole behind you. That I usually put where the armpit was against my hip, and then the front panel is going to be what covers you. So you're going to let the far corner that's loose hang down, and you're going to use the one that's along the edge, if that makes sense, this one. So that piece goes along my hip, this is in the front, and then the other piece that's wrapping around behind me, I leave this corner hanging loose. I got a little flap there, because this is the one that is the longest. This one doesn't reach the other side. So you want to use the one that reaches over. So with that against my hip and that in the front, and this wraps around to be fastened here, the slit then is along my right leg. And then once you've got it, you can adjust it and pull it around the side wherever you like it. And that's how it ends up. That's it. It's long and flouncy on one side, a little bit shorter and flat on that side, and you have the tail in the back, which you could tie in a knot if you wanted, or put something on it, I don't know. And that's how you make the Bohemian Rhapsody skirt. Please check out the tutorials for the other two parts of this costume. And until next time, happy snipping!